Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I decided to make a video. I'm not sure if it's going to be a short one or a long one about the Vito. I've got the Vito 115CDI. It's the WDF639 chassis number with the Om646 motor in it, the 4-cylinder 2.2 litre turbo diesel. And I could only find one video where they actually pulled the motor out of the chassis and then did a complete reassemble of the motor. The guy didn't explain too much about what's happening and where what goes and how you obviously remove the motor. So I decided to just do a video, and I'm sure there's many of you out there that's got some engine issues, or they have to inspect the chains or replace the tensioners, maybe do the oil pump or whatever the case may be, and it's possibly DIY guys and you're not sure how to get it out, or if whatever the case may be. Let's start off with why I removed the motor. First of all, I started getting a bit of a chain noise. The car's got 332,000 kilometers on the clock. I'm not sure in miles, I'll maybe put a description in. So I started getting a bit of chain noise. As soon as I would start it when it's cold, you would get like the chain noise. As soon as I drive and we go uphill and I put a bit of gas, you would also get the chain noise. And then sometimes when it's idling, you would get this krr, 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 sort of like a chainsaw type of sound running sort of dry. I'm not too sure how to explain it, but that was the noises that I was experiencing. So I firstly decided to book the car in, the Vito in, because it's quite a major job, and it takes a lot of time to do the whole job yourself, and you need obviously all the tools and to lock the crank, and there's many things you have to do to get the motor up to this point. So I decided to book it in, and it was in for about a week. I got it back. I had a massive noise. It sounded like something was rubbing against the tappet cover. I booked the car in back again and asked them to have a listen and see what's happening. After another week, got the car back, same story. So I then decided that it can't go on like this and I can't keep paying. So I'll rather just do it myself, pull it out and see what's happening. Because we do drive a lot with the vehicle. I use it for work. So then I decided to do the job myself, pull it out and see what's wrong, what caused this noise and what happened. Upon inspection, I found that they had the cam timing out by 2 teeth. So the cam timing was out. They also damaged the head gasket when they tried to remove the front cover plate, and that wasn't successful, so they pushed it back. And the actual gasket, because the Vito's got like a twin metal with a center core, which is like a titanium or aluminium type of center core on the gasket, the bottom metal bent over and was actually rubbing against the chain. So that was causing the noise. But just to make sure, I pulled everything out, stripped everything, just to make sure that everything's perfect. So after removing the engine, having a look, inspecting everything, I am going to use the old chain, because as I see on a few other YouTube videos, the guys have also said that the old chain is more polished than a new chain, due to wear over the guides and the gears. Also the Vito has got a double chain, so they don't stretch. It's not like the M271, which is a 4-cylinder petrol motor. They've got a single chain, which normally sometimes stretch, or what happens is they break off. The double chains on the Mercs, no problem. So I'm going to reuse the old chain. I've inspected all the sprockets and everything. I'm going to use the whole old setup. The only thing I am replacing is the tensioner. I've purchased a brand new Mercedes original part tensioner. That is what I'm definitely going to fit in. Christo from Merck in Boksburg also recommended, after inspecting everything, that we just that I just do the tensioner. Then there's a few other parts. I'm going to do the O-ring on the oil pump on the pickup. This is quite an important thing while I'm at this stage. You know, this is quite important to do this rubber just to make sure. On some of the E55 model engines, you know, the E55, this pickup rubber, this specific O-ring, they tend to wear, crack and break, and then that's when the motor packs up. So I'm just going to do that. And then you've also got the non-return valve, which is plastic. It's got a rubber and it's got a spring in it. Now, with all the heat and all the years, I mean, this is a 2008 model and it's got 320,000 Ks or 320 something or 332,000 Ks on the clock. It looks good, but just in case, there we've got a brand new genuine part from Mercedes that I'm also going to fit. So guys, just to get back to a step that I just want to mention. To get the motor out, obviously the Vito, it's got like an overhang. So I had to pull the lights, I had to pull the front bumper off, the support brace behind the bumper, the radiator cowl, meaning the radiator subframe or the frame of the radiator. Basically remove everything in the front, as you can see, and then what I did was I basically just jacked up the gearbox slightly and then unbolted the bell housing, and that's how I managed to pull the motor out. I did, however, remove the head while the engine was still in the car, but it was a pain. It was seriously a hectic job, because between the overhang and the head there's very little space. So it was quite a mission to get in there and to loosen the head, because these motors are torque 60 Newton meters on the head, and then 90 degree, and then a further 90 degrees. So the torque is quite high. So to get in there with a power bar in that short space, in that small area, it was quite a mission to get it loose. So that's also why I decided, let me rather pull the whole motor out, seal everything off properly, so that we don't have oil leaks, and it's just easier to work on it while it's out. Do the proper assembly. I have cleaned the surface on top, taken all the old silicone off, and as well at the bottom, but we'll do a final cleanup before I fit everything. So yeah, then I'll assemble the whole motor outside, or as far as possible, and then I'll just drop it in. I'm thinking that'll be the best, because to work in that small space, it's just going to be a nightmare, and especially with the wire harness. Something that was quite tricky is the way the wire harness flows through this side. There's quite a lot of sensors on the intake side. Where the pipe comes out of the intercooler, it feeds into a plastic pipe that goes through the mounting. On that pipe there's quite a lot of sensors, and to get to all that and to get in right at the back with the starter and all those cables was quite a mission. So that's why I decided, let me pull it so we can do everything outside, seal it properly, torque the head properly, assemble everything perfect, and then it's going to be a lot easier to just push the complete motor in. So guys, what I decided to buy as well, just to make the job a lot easier, especially with these type of hose clamps, you get this like a remote clamp tool, and you can easily just hook that on there, and then that'll obviously just release the clamp. So this came in quite handy, especially with these clamps. So that was quite cool. Secondly, I couldn't manage to get the front nut loose. I tried everything, lock the back, pull the starter, put a thing in there, try and lock it like that, no joy. So what I did was I purchased this kit, and it's actually this tool that fits in at the back at the bottom, and then hooks this side, hooks into the flywheel where the ring gear sits, and the two holes are where you bolted onto the bell housing. And that's actually the tool that I could get it loose. It's quite nice. It comes with the bolts. It comes with some formal locking things that I also used for the camshaft. So that was quite lacquer. That's the one kit, guys. Then what I also purchased was a clutch alignment kit. So it's got all the various sizes that goes into the pilot bearing. And then this is to align the clutch. So what you would do is basically, let's take this, and then this screws into the front like that. That you push into the pilot bearing, and then all that happens is you turn the back, and this expands to then align the clutch properly when you reassemble that. Because I'm not fitting a new clutch and pressure plate, I won't get this plastic thing in the kit, so I just decided to buy a complete kit with everything in it, just to simplify things and not to mess up the pilot bearing, because it's got like rollers on the inside, and as soon as that's off slightly or whatever the case may be, especially having the motor on the engine crane, it will be a sort of a challenge, and I just want to make sure that the splines and the shaft lines up 100% correctly to that pilot bearing. Then this wasn't necessary as such to use it on this car, but my wife's got the C270CDI, which is the W203. So I've got this kit I have got this kit in any case, so I used it for the Vito as well. What this is, it's an injector removal toolkit. There's videos on YouTube with how you use the kit and whatever, but basically you use this side, you hook it underneath the injector, so that goes through the bottom and then hooks onto the flat part of the injector, and then you've got the hammer that bolts in, and you just slide hammer it out of the thing. If that doesn't work, you can always remove the solenoid on the injector and then fit this over that same thread, and then obviously just hook in the slide hammer. So definitely something, a kit that's been helping me out a lot, because this in Vito doesn't have an EGR valve or no EGR system with the EGR cooler. It's actually got a blanking plate from the factory at the back of the head. I might do a close-up video of that, or I'll just put a photo into the video. That's why I didn't struggle to get the injectors out of the head. They were a bit tight and they had a bit of build-up, but it's not as hectic. Whereas the C270, at this stage, I am busy looking at that to completely remove the whole EGR system, because even at 50,000 kilometers with new seals, new everything, you still battle to get the injectors out and the glow plugs out. So it's just a mess. In fact, it's so bad that the tips of the glow plugs, they sort of expand, and then you can't get them out through the holes. So it's quite a mess, and that's because of the EGR and what happens with the soot build up back into the motor. Guys, thank you for watching, and then please like and subscribe. Please comment if you want to see more videos and if you've got more info and more interesting things. Till the next one. Thanks.